Welcome to the TExES 391 Core Subjects EC6 online test prep course, covering subject exam number 1, English Language Arts and Reading, test number 901. This course is presented by Teacher Preps, your trusted source to help you pass your teacher certification exam. Thanks so much for being here. Let's get started. As you can recall from the NES and Texas Education Agency Administration website, these Texas core subjects includes a total of 10 competencies for the English Language Arts and Reading exam. And this lesson, we are focusing exclusively on competency number 8, which is all about written communication. Let's zoom in here and I'll type the statement so we can see it more clearly. Competency 8 states, the teacher understands that writing to communicate is a developmental process and provides instruction that promotes students' competence in written communication. All right, great. The first thing I notice is that this entire competency, which we can think of as being one chapter or one key topic that we need to know for our exam, is all about written communication. Now, to me, these official exam statements are always written a bit too formally. So, what I like to do is to paraphrase them in my own words to understand them better and therefore understand what we need to know as a test taker to be prepared for exam day. Now, what it says here is that we need to know that learning to write well takes time, and we need to teach writing in a way that helps students get better at expressing themselves in writing over time. Now, if you're feeling a bit nervous or overwhelmed about this exam, don't be, because you're watching the right video. So I'm going to take you step by step through each of the 9 descriptive statements listed below to make sure you are 100% ready for exam day. Now, if you're ready, let's begin this lesson looking at statement number 1, which says the beginning teacher teaches purposeful, meaningful writing in connection with listening, reading, and speaking. Again, let's rephrase this into simpler terms. Meaning, the beginning teacher guides the students to write a clear goal and real meaning, and this writing is tied to listening, reading, and talking. All right, now that makes more sense. Let's jump into lesson number 1. Starting with the basics of a definition, with purposeful writing being that it is writing with a specific intent or goal. And meaningful writing is writing that holds significance, relevance, or value for the reader. Now, let's talk about the ways in which the 4 skills presented in this standard are all connected. First, we have listening. Before writing, students need to listen to gather information, understand perspectives, and get and be inspired. Listening skills can influence how effectively our students absorb and interpret the information that we're teaching. Next, we have reading, which exposes students to different writing styles, enriches vocabulary, and broadens knowledge. It provides context and inspiration for our own students' writing as well. The next mode of connection is with speaking. Discussing ideas before writing them helps students refine their ideas. Speaking can help clarify thoughts and gain feedback, which can help improve writing. And lastly, we have writing, which allows students to express, document, and communicate their ideas and knowledge. Great. Now that we understand the connection between reading, writing, listening, and speaking, we need an instructional strategy to actually teach the written communication to our students. Let's go over that now. If you're watching and you've been watching the past videos we've made in this series, the instructional strategy called gradual release of responsibility is not new to you. But just in case it is, let's go over this right now. This is when the teacher models completing a task, the students observe how to do it, then the teacher and students complete the task together. And finally, the students complete the task independently to demonstrate mastery of the skill. An easy way to remember the gradual release of responsibility is I do, we do, you do. And the great part about this framework of the gradual release of responsibility instructional strategy is that it is transferable to almost all types of instruction. Still, I want you to pass this exam on your next try, and I'd like to give you just a bit more insight. Again, these are strategies that have been discussed in previous lessons because the general framework teaches students new skills effectively. But hearing it one more time can only help. So here we go. Strategies to teach meaningful and purposeful writing. First, we have model writing. This is when a teacher demonstrates how to write for a different purpose. That might be a persuasive essay, it might be a narrative, or other. Next, the teacher uses prompts. Remember to offer students prompts that encourage them to connect personal experiences with what they've learned in the classroom. Then let's implement peer review. We can encourage students to share and review each other's work. This involves listening and speaking skills to give and receive feedback. And then, remember, integrate reading materials. We can use texts that can serve as models or discussion starters for our students' writing assignments. And finally, class discussions. Before writing, we can encourage students in discussions about the topic so that they start to brainstorm and formulate their own ideas. Once the activity has ended, it's important to assess your students' understanding and provide feedback to them. Next, we have the use of rubrics. Use detailed rubrics that outline what is expected for different writing assignments. Rubrics give students a clear roadmap for their tasks, making both learning and feedback more straightforward and effective. Remember, your exam expects that you deliver lessons that are direct and explicitly taught. Before we end this lesson, let's wrap up with key points to remember. First, writing is not an isolated skill. It is deeply connected with listening, reading, and speaking. Next, the purpose of writing should always be clear, whether to inform, persuade, entertain, or reflect. Make sure that the meaningful writing resonates with the reader. It's not just about following directions or a format. Let the students write what's meaningful to them about a topic that you can provide. Integrating all four skills provides a holistic approach to teaching English language arts. Feeling anxious about taking the TExES core subjects exam? Click the link in the description below to get prepared faster, smarter, better, with everything you need to pass all in one place, so you can celebrate your passing score and become a certified teacher with teacherpreps.com.